These people, this is orchestrated. Make no mistake about it. This is orchestrated. This is planned out. It's a hit job. It's basically what it is. It's a huge hit job that's been being done to Caitlin Clark and the.
That is a bold claim, but it highlights the growing tension surrounding the Indiana Fever's star rookie. We are not just talking about basketball strategy anymore. We are witnessing a narrative war. The accusation here is that an orchestrated smear campaign is being directed at Caitlin Clark, one that reportedly originates from within her own organization. This brings up a critical question about the WNBA media landscape. Why does the coverage of Clark's on-court demeanor feel so fundamentally different from how the media handles other veteran players in the league?
But they love Skylar Diggins acting like a complete lunatic and crashing out. No think pieces and podcast rants about this behavior though, right? Take a look at this.
I can't stand how Caitlin Clark acts on the court, but we love you, Skylar Diggins. We love you crashing out, kicking chairs, Skylar Diggins. We're not gonna make any articles or get on podcasts.
The contrast is impossible to ignore. On one hand, you have constant scrutiny over Clark's frustrations, her conversations with referees, and her intensity. On the other, players like Skylar Diggins-Smith have a well-documented history of intense, high-energy outbursts. Yet, the media response is polar opposite. Diggins-Smith is often framed as a passionate competitor, while Clark's similar actions are frequently labeled as entitlement or a lack of maturity.
A crash-out jar. Take a look, man.
I have decided to make a crash-out jar. Oh, Courtney's my dog. Okay. Since we're not making that much progress with my other techniques or coping methods, whatever you guys want to call it, I have decided to make a crash-out jar. This is going to go to a good cause. Anger management sessions. Maybe a charity.
It goes deeper than just individual temperament. We are now seeing players openly acknowledge the toxicity of the environment. Marina Mabri's implementation of a literal crash-out jar is a perfect example of players trying to navigate the high-pressure, often chaotic reality of professional basketball. By monetizing these moments of frustration, Mabri is highlighting the absurdity of the standard being applied to these athletes. But notice the reaction from the media. There were no think pieces about Mabri's mental health, no articles questioning her character, and no viral clips analyzing her supposed uncoachability.
Scuffle, $40. There's only one scuffle, right? Oh. This is gonna be expensive. Okay, honestly, me saying that I was like, gonna... somebody.
Foul! You can kill somebody, I swear to God.
That me.
She said, I'm gonna effing kill somebody, I swear. Nobody said nothing. It's on camera. No one said anything. Nope, it don't matter. It don't matter. It's not Caitlin Clark, so it don't matter.
When Mabri openly discusses these moments, she is doing so with a sense of irony and self-awareness. Yet, the double standard remains. If Caitlin Clark had recorded a video about a penalty jar for every time she argued with a ref, the reaction from WNBA pundits would likely have been entirely different. The silence from the Indiana Fever organization regarding this perceived hit job is just as telling as the noise coming from external commentators. Lynn Dunn and the rest of the front office have remained largely quiet, while Dan Dakich and other media figures perpetuate this narrative of a divide between Clark and her teammates.
Oh, that was expensive. That was crazy. I said that in timeout. Oh. I'm not even gonna say what I said. That game cost me $90 in crash outs. I might need a bigger jar. I have decided.
You got Marina Mabri showing all her own crash outs. You know, nobody talks about it. Nobody says anything. Bro, it's just ridiculous, man. All of us.
When you synthesize all of this, the selective outrage, the orchestrated media cycles, and the visible frustration on the court, you have to ask if this is truly about basketball behavior, or if there is a deeper, more calculated effort to alienate the league's biggest draw. This is where the analysis turns toward the business of the WNBA. The league is currently enjoying unprecedented growth, much of which is directly tied to the arrival of the 2024 draft class. If the narrative continues to push the idea that the face of that growth is uncoachable, difficult, or entitled, it risks damaging the very momentum the league is trying to capitalize on. Consider the role of beat reporters and national media. By consistently amplifying negative angles, they are creating a feedback loop that fans consume as fact. We see this in the framing of every technical foul or every huddle interaction. There is a palpable lack of benefit of the doubt that seems reserved almost exclusively for Clark. The comparison to Skylar Diggins-Smith is not just about personality. It is about the established guard versus the new era. Veteran players have navigated the politics of the WNBA for years, and they understand the importance of managing the narrative. Clark, as a generational talent, is disrupting that ecosystem, and the friction we see is a direct byproduct of that disruption. There is also the matter of the internal team dynamics. If the organization truly believes there is a smear campaign, their silence is effectively an endorsement of that narrative. By not coming out and publicly backing their franchise player, they are leaving her to defend herself against constant, speculative media attacks. Think about the long-term impact on the team culture. If the locker room is reading the same headlines that fans are, it creates an environment of suspicion rather than collaboration. You cannot expect a team to excel on the court when the narrative off the court is constantly painting their star player as an outlier or an antagonist. Ultimately, this is a crisis of integrity for WNBA media coverage. When personality-based narratives overshadow the objective reality of game performance, the product suffers. We are moving away from sports analysis and toward a form of reality television that prioritizes drama over the actual skill and growth being displayed by these athletes. Are these players allowed to be human? Are they allowed to have bad days, express frustration, and grow through their mistakes? The current climate suggests that for some, the answer is yes, while for Caitlin Clark, the answer is a resounding no. This creates an unsustainable dynamic where the most popular player in the league is under the most intense and often unfair scrutiny. What we are observing is the result of a league trying to manage rapid expansion while struggling to reconcile its old-school politics with a new-school audience. The viewers are seeing through the noise, and the engagement numbers prove that they want to see the best players compete, not the best public relations battles. So, who is actually benefiting from this smear campaign? Is it the league, the organization, or the media outlets driving the clicks? It is certainly not the players, and it is definitely not the fans who just want to watch high-level basketball. The divide is widening, and it is becoming increasingly clear that a shift in coverage is necessary if the league wants to maintain its integrity. Now I want to hear from you. Do you believe this is a genuine, organic reaction to Caitlin Clark's on-court behavior, or is there a concerted effort to undermine her influence in the league? Pick a side in the comments and let me know why you think the media is treating these players so differently. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to keep the vision alive.